All right, what's up, guys? We're back for another Monday morning agent call review. And yes, I am your expert, Ryan Belay. Actually joined live with a few new trainees and maybe a veteran in the business here. So we're going to do a quick call review, a little bit of a short one here with Adam, Mr. Adam Lowell. But we are, again, just going to go through something pretty quick. But it was an interesting call, so we're going to kind of knock this one out. If you guys would leave a comment below what you think, whether you think it's a great call, bad call, whatever, and also on top of it, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. Let's go.
Uh,
All right, here we go.
Gene is
Hey, just a minute.
alrighty.
You got the phone there?
So normally I wouldn't recommend asking if is there or if the client is there, but in this case it definitely did work out. So there is the rare occasion that if you really just can get that sense that it's not the right person, don't hesitate to ask. It's okay to make sure that you've got the right person in the rare occasion.
Okay.
There's somebody for you. Hey, it's for you.
Hello.
Hey, morning, hon. It's Adam.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
All right.
That's good. That's good. So I'm just calling you back about the request you had put in over there on Facebook when you were looking at some final expense options for yourself.
Where?
Over on Facebook, and when I go in on here and I take a look, you put your email down as
Yes.
and your
So
Just
another
inside the
thing I'm
phone.
going to add here actually is whenever it comes to stating what the call was about, talking about, that you were looking into final expenses. Very good job with the pause there. Like that's very huge. A lot of people like to skip that and they like to rush and that's the what I call the bulldoze technique is just rush in there and just read off a whole bunch of crap all at once. Very good job not holding your tone and holding back, allowing her to answer, because it's really important that we get the confirmation that they did fill this out, that they did look into this. And you can hear her, she's not sure, right? And
Mhm.
obviously we're about to go into how you explain it to her and then she talks about it. So
So,
Mhm.
yes, ma'am. You were on Facebook and you were looking at some options for final expenses. Basically, so when you pass away, your
Oh, yes. Okay, I remember now. No, I'm not really interested in that. I can't afford it right now. Maybe later on, if the
gotcha.
Trump gets in.
If the what now?
The Trump gets in.
The economy's been in the tank, hasn't it?
I know. All right. You take care and have a good day.
Well, just you, if you couldn't afford it or felt like you couldn't afford
Pause
it,
it.
what made you want?
That was amazing. This response time is what was really key there. Most agents don't respond that quickly to the objection. They leave a longer pause and let the client or the person on the other end hang up the phone. You
or
had
the
no
response is, oh, okay, and then the client gets to hang up. So echo it 1,000%. Yes, Cody is
That was
100%
and
really
your
right.
good.
and your tone was even kill. You weren't like, "Oh no," or "Oh no." You're just like, "Oh, okay, well, let me ask you." Right? And you went about it just like you started the conversation. You were doing that through the whole thing. So that was really good.
Tina, let me
Answer all.
ask you, if you couldn't afford it or felt like you couldn't afford it, what made you want to inquire? You had to have thought you could
I
do
don't know.
something.
I want to check the prices, I guess.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, I talk every single day to people that are on fixed incomes, senior citizens, all
Yes.
day,
Yes.
that are on Social Security and fixed incomes. And through the state programs here, we're always able to find something that works for somebody. Most of the cost is covered. What comes out of your pocket is really, really minuscule, to be honest.
So I want to, um, so right here, very great rebuttal or come back to what she's going after, talking about, look, my job is to find an option for those on a fixed income and so forth. What I will add, or what I might have said is, okay, so you say that it's too expensive. Obviously, you're talking to somebody, so you're smart. So I like to talk the client up. So obviously you're smart, you find it's important to actually have something in place. And it's really important, that I work with people who are on a fixed income, but what exactly are you seeing that's too expensive? Right? That's the thing. So she's hearing higher prices, and that's why she feels like it's too expensive. You're not the first rodeo, right?
Also, that's going to give you an insight to her budget without you having to ask the budget question, right?
Okay.
So then if she says, "Oh, I'm talking to people and they're telling me it's 90 or $100 and that's so much," why would you ever go to say, "Can we do anything between $100 to $150?" Like, you wouldn't do that.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out in the past who she's talked to, how much she was quoted on that end, so I can get an idea of what was a no-no for her, so I can
Correct.
go from
Because
there.
Yes.
she'll tell you like $80 and that was for 10,000 and that's just too much. That doesn't fit in my budget. And then you'll know, like, don't touch $80. Obviously don't touch 100 or 150.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it allows you to kind of to have a conversation around the issues that she has, right?
Hmm.
You really want to find out what her problem is so you can fix it. That's the ultimate goal, is to find out the problem so you can fix it for her. So that's what I would recommend, rather than just going into, hey, look, I focus on fixed incomes, or I can get you a cheaper rate, whatever it may be. You really want to find out, well, what her has been her problem. You might find out that she's saying, yeah, I had a guy who said he could get me 20,000 for $10 a month, and honey, I can't afford that. I'm going to ask a question here without Cody answering. If someone gives you that answer, what are they?
Question again?
So if someone
The answer?
says, they gave me a price for 20,000 at $10, and that's just too expensive, I can't afford that right now. If you look at the script, what are they?
A suspect, right?
Boom shakalaka. That's exactly right. They are a suspect. And it doesn't mean that, again, I've said it before, that's not a negative connotation. That just means that you don't need to be wasting your time on somebody
Yeah.
who literally cannot afford $10.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
she you that literally may be her answer. But just like Cody said, you might find out that she's interested, that $80 for 10,000 is just too much. Getting that idea of really where she is sitting is the whole goal here. So you find out if she's a suspect, because, well, obviously we listened to this already, and she winds up hanging up. Where this is left off in the end is a potential callback, right? Like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend just completely writing her off. Um, if you get the right answer, this could be your suspect key, so that way never to call her back. Okay, because
Yeah.
that's what you want to find out. You don't want to keep calling people who are a suspect. That's a waste of time.
How long have you been looking into options?
I just did it one night, I think. I do have state insurance, for burial. I pay for that every month.
Wow, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. And who's it through?
I don't even know the company's name. I don't
Oh,
even know.
well, that's
Okay.
Pause that.
I'm kind of busy right now, so I'll just say goodbye and have a good day. Okay. Bye bye.
Miss Jean.
That's when
So,
the husband was like, you
yeah.
could tell. You're
Yeah.
right. You could tell. Yeah. I
Yeah,
And when
thought he,
you're,
I
go
thought he
ahead.
did. Can I just give my rookie opinion? I know it doesn't mean much, but I thought he did really well. I mean, I honestly, like I told him before that, in my opinion, from my limited experience, I thought he turned it around where, I've done in the past. I've not been as quick, like Cody said, to come back, and they've hung up. So I thought he was very smooth.
And another thing, when they
Totally
were
agree.
talking about Yeah, when they were talking about the state insurance, right? So something you could have said is, "Oh, when did you get that, and how much did you get, and what are you paying on that?" Right?
Right.
Not that it would have changed
Oh,
it, but you could have found out if like she filled out more than one form at the same time she filled this
Yeah.
form out based on the
yeah.
date, and kind of say like, ah, she just got that, and she went with Mutual of Omaha 2 year wait period,
Yeah,
right?
those sound like
Versus, does that
yeah,
make sense?
they sound like easier questions to answer too, you know. Um
So the other thing
Sheesh.
I will add to that, uh, we can all sit here and say, well, what I would have said
Yeah.
when you're in the moment, it could be,
A
Totally.
completely
lot.
different. But what I would believe that I would have said was, okay, so that means you were actually looking, were you looking to save some money on that? Was that your goal? Um, because it's very possible that her current plan is too expensive, right? Now, I honestly don't think you were going to keep her on the phone. I agree with Chris that his tonality was great. The questions you asked were not bad, right? Like oftentimes, like Cody said, people will fumble and be like, miss, and then they already hung up. You got to keep her on
Yeah.
for an extra 40 seconds to try
Yeah.
and
That
dig
was
at her
really
a little
good.
bit.
If she would have stayed on any further than that, like right where she hung up, I would have started fumbling because at that moment I didn't know what the heck to say. I was like, well, what am I gonna say now? So it's almost kind of like it was meant at that point.
No, and just as we were talking right before we started this, um, that's what repetitions are for, right? Like that's
Yeah.
not going to be your first time that you talk to somebody like that. You're going to talk to somebody again, and then you're going to talk to somebody again, and each time you do it, you're going to say just a little bit of something different. But remember, the premise of everything is to treat them like they're a family member and really find out what their situation is. That's why you're asking the questions. Yes, the questions are designed in a way to get you to a sale, 1,000%. But it's also to help you truly understand their situation so you can put them in the best position. That's the ultimate goal.
Hey, could
So
you ask in that situation where she said, and you heard the husband, well, I would just look at her prices. Then she said, I'm on a state, whatever she said for burial. Could you say, okay, then why are you looking for pricing then if you already have coverage? Would you say
I
it
would
that
be very
way?
careful. That
Okay,
comes so the way you said it, it sounds combative. So you
okay,
always want
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
avoid
Okay, I
sounding
got it.
combative. So
Okay,
you gotta the way you position things is extremely important, especially with
yeah,
the demographic that we're dealing with.
yeah. You're
They're dealing
yeah,
with a lot of
yeah.
people. Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm
The
Cody and
way
I are
Ryan
very
the way Ryan said it is the way you would ask your question, right? So he said, understood. So while you have that policy, were you possibly searching to find something that might fit your budget a little bit better, or were you wanting
okay, all right,
more coverage for the same amount that you're paying?
yeah.
What is it that you're after? And that is the question of like, well, hey, if you already have it, why are you looking? But just in a way that
I got
communication
it.
is
Yeah,
across the board.
yeah. Yeah,
yep,
like
yep.
you can ask a business owner that, which I'm used to, and it's a direct, and they're okay with it, right? But
Yeah.
not, yeah, I see that. Okay, yeah, it comes across as kind of challenging them and being like, well, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
But
yeah,
again, in a non-combative way,
yeah,
again, it would be lovely if we could just be direct and be like, listen, what do you
yeah.
want? You know, but we know there's no sales position that really works that way, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's different. Thank God that everybody has their own personality. Sometimes
yeah.
some people are annoying, but it's a good thing that we have different personalities out there because if everybody was the same, it would be boring. So,
There's such an
um,
art to this. It's almost like there's an there really is a skill to this that has to be developed because I'm waiting for the
yes,
day where I'm in Adam's shoes and I'm like, you have to have humility because I'm gonna be like, you get ripped apart because And then I'm
Yes,
going to have all you guys
and
telling me what I did wrong.
so if you and I will tell you this is a thousand per
Hate
like
Cody.
what you have to follow. You cannot you cannot be afraid to do that. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
get in and get the reps in because if you
Ugh,
are afraid to actually get these reps in, I'm telling you, these are the things, us listening to these calls are what's going
yeah,
to propel you to success a
yeah.
thousand times faster.
I believe that for
So,
sure, 100%.
so yeah,
The
without a
giant,
doubt,
it's a
man.
giant catapult.
Yes,
I
yes.
believe in you guys, man. And I'm not just saying that. I really do. Um, I'm
Well,
going to do
thank you.
whatever you tell me to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, with that said, guys, we will wrap this one up. It was another phenomenal one. I'm going to, I think this may be the way I do almost every call from now on, is when we do an agent call review, we're going to do it live with the agents, whatever. Um, what do you guys think of this? You guys feel like this really taught you something?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
for
like it.
sure. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's awesome.
How do you
Yeah.
feel, Adam? Do you feel
Yeah.
tore apart?
No, no, it's good. I knew there was a point right there. It was the exact point where there were many variations and I didn't have the best one. Uh, after she said she had something to the
And here's what I will say to that, Adam, is there's going to be other times where you could have just said a little something else, and the best advice I can give you is find what fits you or what you like to say, whether it's how I worded it, how Cody worded it, and sometimes you just go off of a feeling of I'm going to say this in this situation, but find the thing that is uh, close to you or what you like the most, say it every damn time. Say it every time like clockwork. Do not vary from it. And then as it literally comes out as it's just like whenever someone picks up and they're saying, I'm not interested. Okay, I'm not interested either. Right? Like just say that every damn time. And
Mhm.
eventually, occasionally you'll throw something a little different out. And you will get to the point like Cody and I do. We just, whenever we did that interview with Dave, we literally were like, I don't know how to really give you our word tracks because it's so off the cuff because
Yeah,
we've done it so many times. It's hard for us to just come up with these like it's so in the moment, but again, we can do it in a moment because we've done it so many times. And we've
And we
done it the
continue to
same
do
way
it.
every time. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just remember there's no perfect thing to say for everyone because there's going to be people, it doesn't matter how nice Adam is. People will hate you, right? People will not like you no matter what you do. And you just got to be okay with that.
yeah, yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
do it. That's why I say stick to the script, do the script the same every damn time. And then whenever you get good with the script and things, you're not reading the script as you're talking to somebody, but it's now a conversation. When you get to that point, certain things will just come out of your mouth that you'll be like, oh wow, that was actually pretty good. But you don't want to say that the same way the next person, because that person will have a completely different personality. So
Yeah.
just remember
Speaking
that.
of the,
Hey Ryan, you're always to
That
the script, huh? Like I watched your second video on YouTube, and it was like word for word. Is that
yeah.
how you do it every time?
Yep.
Ryan
Yeah.
stays tight to the
Because you said
scripts.
it way
Yeah.
better, way better than I could ever do it. That was
That's
cool.
He's
Ray,
done
and
it
don't
like
say
10
that.
million times, though. That's the reason. 10 million
Don't
versus
that
say
and
that.
I
200.
did it the same way every single time. I wasn't what I had the worst habit of doing whenever I first started it. In that first year, I changed the script so many times. It
Oh
was
God.
unbelievable, right? Because I was
Uh,
watching so many different people do it and a lot of bad people. The way a lot of bad people were handling people who were getting chargebacks left and right that I didn't know at the time, right? So I once I found the script that I kind of tailored it to what I liked. I listened to just a couple people who were talking about tonality and talking about talking to your family member, right? Actually treating people like they're a real person. And some people don't believe you that you're treating them like a real person. They still just feel like you're trying to sell them and they'll hang up on you. But I did it the same way every single time. And I still, to this day, I will sometimes kind of change it up a little bit based on the person. But the majority of the time, yes, you're 100% correct. I do it the exact same way every single time.
Cool. Yeah, I just heard it last night for the first time. I was like, man, it's so good.
Ray,
So am
Ray,
I going to be
Ray, you're
am I
good. You're good, Ray, Ray. Don't
am
worry.
I going to be a six-figure earner, guys? Is it going to happen
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
me? 6 figs?
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
gonna happen.
Yeah. You
I
have no
think
worries, man.
I think so for sure.
All
It
right,
sounds
that's
like
good.
you're talking to your own grandma every call. Other year to do, you gotta get it.
They are my
Yeah.
grandma.
All right, guys. So another fantastic call. Again, whenever it comes down to it, I do these every single Monday. Don't forget, I am your fantastic expert, and I am here to teach everybody all the little nuggets that I know to make everybody realize that there is money to be made in this business the right way, not doing things the wrong way. So we'll be back here again next Monday. Do not hesitate to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop Adam some love down in the comments below. Let him know that he did a great job. And yeah, whenever it's all said and done, kids, don't forget, keep dialing, keep up the great work. Repetition is key. Later, kids.